Hello, my name's Caitlin, and for this topic I decided to pick icicles. So for today I will be discussing the phenomenon of icicles. Before I talk about or ask my questions, I decided to look up the definition of an icicle. So according to my definition, an icicle is a hanging or tapering piece of ice that is formed by the freezing or dripping of water. Normally you see icicles hanging from cars or houses or trees, so the definition really makes sense now that I know it. Like I said, since icicles are always hanging from trees or cars or roofs, it was pretty easy to find pictures that depicted the definition. And going through the pictures, I've seen the similarities that icicles are always in the cone shape. So I'm curious as to why they're in the cone shape, and sometimes icicles have the little ripples, like the picture in the bottom corner. So I was curious as to why those are formed and what makes them form, and why sometimes icicles don't have the ripples. So my first question is, why do icicles form? What prevents the water from just dripping off the roof, or why do they form? Why do they freeze? I've always wondered this because when it's snowing or when it's cold outside, you can always see the snow accumulate into the piles and the drifts. Granted, if you sit there for a long time, you can see it. But you never really see the icicles form. You just wake up in the morning and they're just there. So I guess I'm just curious as to why they do form. Like I said, have you ever seen an icicle form? I guess if you sat outside your window and stared at for a really long time at your roof, you could probably see it form, but I don't know who has that kind of time on their hands. And then also, how long does it take for an icicle to form? That's a pretty big question that I've wondered. Just in case somebody did ever sit outside, I wonder how long it would take for it to be obvious or to be noticeable. So I collected some pictures from the internet of icicles that are in the cone shape, like on the top corner, versus the icicles that have the ripples, like hanging off the branch in the other corner. And then, along with my pictures, I found research, which you can go to later so you don't actually know the phenomenon of icicles. But that is my presentation.